I sound like a broken record at this particular point in time. And if the season keeps going the same way, I'm pretty much going to be repeating myself for the next couple of videos. I've kind of reached my limit with this staff, but guess why that really doesn't matter yet? Come on, let's talk about it after the intro. Hey, welcome back to From the Cheap Seats. I'm your host, Bonafide. And look, the game yesterday might have broken the fan base and things like that. I still hate the Sparkle Kittens and all that stuff, but like in the illustrious words of Sir Birdman of New Orleans, you gotta put some respect on their name. I mean, because they thoroughly thrashed us on yesterday. I took the trip up there. I was solo dolo, went to Jacksonville, met up with my old Navy buddy Adam, and we caught up and went to the game. And but when I'm thinking about it, I probably could have saved the gas money and the ticket money. But I did go to Buc-ee's, so it wasn't a lost trip. If you don't know about Buc-ee's, check it out. But yeah, because outside of Jeffery Simmons on yesterday, this was a forgettable game. I mean, and this is something that we couldn't have had. We needed this game to be a division game. And I guess the game started off as bad as possible. I mean, they were already up 7-0. We get on the drive, and what do? Brewer snaps another ball high into the air. I mean, at this particular point, like Brewer should be bouncing nightclubs and not snapping the football to an NFL quarterback. I get it. He's a good story out of North Texas, but he's not an NFL center. He is not a good one either. I don't care what anybody says or what things that he ain't good at that job, and he really just needs to do something else. But hey, whatever. Because he's undersized. So that's another position in free agency and the draft that we're gonna have to try to figure out. Because if we keep rolling with, he ain't no Ben Jones, he ain't no Kevin Mawai at this particular joint. So yeah. And then like after that fumble, we were just a comedy of errors. If it wasn't defensive pass interference, it was a false start. If it wasn't false start, we were fumbling the ball. If we weren't fumbling the ball, we were getting beat by Calvin Ridley. It was just, if it was bad in this terms of football, the Tennessee Titans were making sure that they were going to do it on yesterday. Trevor Lawrence and Calvin Ridley had a freaking day. Do you understand me? They had gotten shellacked by the 49ers, and they said, hey, we need a get back game, a get right game. And that game was today. I mean, Lawrence was 24 of 32 with 262, and he had 2 touchdowns in the air to Calvin Ridley, threw them both to Calvin Ridley. But the man didn't score 2 more touchdowns on the ground. So he had 4 total touchdowns. Let me tell you something. I had a little same game parlay that I did, and I got a funny story about that. Buc-ee's bathrooms are so nice. I just used the bathroom in there, and I forgot I was in the bathroom, and I did my parlays from there. I know, too much information, but hey, we almost like family. So yeah, I did the same game parlay in the bathroom, and I said, hey, I think the over is going to be 37 points for both teams, the over. Do you know that the freaking Jaguars got that by themselves almost? So I just needed the field goal from Nick Folk for us to get it. So yeah, because it looked like we weren't going to score. We were in danger of being shut out until, we got this little reverse trickeration play. And Will Levis threw a 43-yard pass to DeAndre Hopkins to get us on the board. And then like at the end of the fourth quarter where, the game was already out of hand, there was a nice little play for Big Jeff. They tossed it to him on the 2-yard line. He got his first TD. He always said he had good hands, and you can see it in the pregame and the training camp reports. He had good hands. So, I mean, the man, he wasn't lying. So he scored them there. I'm happy for Big Jeff, but for the most part, all 3 phases of football just failed us miserably yesterday. There was no energy again for this team. Like I said, outside of Big Jeff, there was no energy, no urgency. I kept seeing Will. I was in the game. I was looking at it. Kept seeing Will doing this at the come on. Like a prepared offense, a prepared football team doesn't have to rush. because I definitely didn't see the Jaguars rushing anything for their plays. It looked like they were just basically out there playing pitch and catch against us, you know. So yeah, it was just an overall terrible day to be a Titans fan, and it was even worse to watch that travesty in person. To the point where I was driving home, I was talking to my wife on the phone. I was like, look, I think this is, even though I know we play the Miami Dolphins, I think on Monday night down in Miami, yeah, I'm gonna be at the crib. I'm gonna watch it on the TV. I'm not spending any more money on this particular team to watch them lose again. And you can go, I've been to New Orleans, been to Tampa Bay, and now Jacksonville, and they lost all three. Am I the problem? No, I'm not the problem, because I don't affect the game on the field. But yeah, I'm definitely not going down to Miami to watch them get torched by Tua Tagovailoa and the menace that is the cheetah, aka Tyreek Hill. So yeah, hey, fans were gracious. They didn't give me a lot of crap in the stands. But if I have to hear Duval one more time, it won't be soon enough. All right. So going on, our player of the game, you know who it is, Big Jeff, man. Like I'm saying, we needed him to play both sides of the field. And he did that. He had he was a lead blocker as a fullback on one of the short yardage games. And then he had like this monstrous hit. I don't know if you saw it, but he had this huge hit on Travis Etienne. And I'm talking about the whole stadium was like, ooh. People was like wincing. It was that, cause it was, I'm talking about sudden impact, things like that. And then, at the end of the game, he got the touchdown. Man hit the gritty. So I know he was practicing that with gritty. But yeah, Big Jeff, man, you know what I'm saying? He really showed up yesterday when a lot of other Titans players didn't. And the thing about it is that, you usually say when a player gets paid, that they start to slack off, but not Big Jeff. Big Jeff got the contract, and for the most part, he's been trying his best to, kind of, do his part. Even on that last TD run where the game was put out of play, if you look at the picture, it's Big Jeff out there that's running from his defensive tackle part, trying to stop Trevor Lawrence from scoring. So he's giving maximum effort, at least in my opinion. So I ain't hating on him. So good job to Big Jeff being the player of the game. So next segment, everything's hot. And I ain't just talking about the seats. So my wife likes to use this website where you can find like shady seats in the stadium. So you look at the seats, it tells you when there's in the shade, things like that, and you buy your ticket. So you won't be in the sun for the most part of the day. Let's just say that website probably needs to be updated, because I was in the sun for a large majority, basically the entire game. Yeah. So the sun was getting beamed at me. So I was hot, a little sweat, a little perspiration, and they needed to take some beverages to cool me off. But I wasn't as hot as this proverbial seat for Mike Vrabel is getting. Now, there's two camps. And there's people that are going to vehemently defend Mike Vrabel to the death because of his past performance, because he took us from a 3-15 team to the playoffs, the AFC Championship game, all of that. And I get it. Great. I'm fine with that. And then there's the other camp, which I just recently became a member of here, who's to tell you that, it's probably time for Mike Vrabel to be fired and that we should find a new coach. Now, one that has an offensive mind leaning towards it. Now, names that keep floating around that I keep seeing on the internet is Slowick. I think he's working with the Texans right now, but he used to work with with Kyle Shanahan out there at the 49ers. Rand Carthon connection. And then Bob Johnson from the Lions. And they, obviously two teams in the NFC that are doing really well. Now, I dropped some colorful tweets on X about how I wanted Mike Vrabel and his tactical vest up out of here and off the staff and off the coaching staff. Because like I said, I just became a member of that group, that wants him gone. Even Bill Barnwell posted an article this morning on ESPN Plus. I don't know if you got to have a subscription to read it, but whatever. Basically, he said, if he had wrote this article last year, he would have been fired by ESPN for writing. But this season, seems like a perfect person to be on that hot seat, and I think rightfully so. Like, I don't know if you've seen this or heard this stat, but we have gone 3-16. I think I said it in the last video. We've gone 3-16. And in between that time, We've had an entire offseason to try to correct these problems. Now I get it. John Robinson really hampered us. Rand, was behind the 8 ball because he started late. We didn't have a lot of cap money. So I get all that. But some of these mistakes that we're making and that seem to plague us every week comes down to coaching. This ain't on Rand. Rand can't buy us buy us out of false start. Nothing, Chad Brinker ain't looking at analytics to see how much money can we save if we don't do defensive pass interferences. They don't make sense. It doesn't make sense. They can't affect it. So I'm not even putting this on Rand or Chad Brinker, because if you think about it, all of the pieces that they've added, whether it be in free agency and or the draft, outside of Andre Dillard, have kind of paid off for us. So I am leaning towards giving him, way more leash than I am willing to give Mike Vrabel, because we got false starts. We got defense, hot snaps, defensive pass interferences, all of this stuff. We have all of these things and they seem to be not getting fixed. Now, the reason why I say, reality isn't what it seems is because honestly, it doesn't matter what I think or whatever anybody thinks on social media things. It only matters to what Miss Amy and Kenneth and the staff inside of St. Thomas Sports Parks thinks about Mike Vrabel. And right now, I don't see them firing him. And Bill Barnwell said the same thing. He said probably a major misstep if we fired Mike Vrabel, because he is a good coach at some points. But I've kind of grown frustrated. So maybe that'll change over the next season. So I don't see him getting fired unless we lose to the Carolina Panthers. If we lose at home to the Carolina Panthers, who are the worst team in the NFL, then that is going to be Mike Vrabel's Eagles game. Just like, I don't think I need to say more after that. And he's going to be a dead man walking until they let him go, because I don't see us winning any of the games. Because if you can't beat them, then you aren't winning any of the other games that we got lined up on the schedule for right now. I look at it like this. A bulletproof vest or ballistic plate works the first couple of times when you hit it, things like that. It don't work that well after you riddle it or you dump a whole magazine in it. And right now, that's what we're looking at for Mike Vrabel. So Mike Vrabel needs this game. So last night, wrapping it up. So we play the Panthers and they got the #1 pick in the 2024 draft. Not really, they gave it to the Bears. So they're really suffering right now. But I don't think there's really, I'm not even really focused on the Panthers. This is all about Mike Vrabel winning this game. If Mike Vrabel cannot win this game, and the Titans can't beat Panthers, this changes everything, because I'm really thinking that you're going to have to move on from Vrabel and this coaching staff, hire offensive-minded coach, because you only have $100 million in cap space every once in a while. And we cannot afford to miss out on the opportunity of improving our team, especially given that we probably found something in Will Levis, and we need to surround him with pieces. So I'm expecting us to win. So if you made it this far, I appreciate you. I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your friends and your family during this time. We're not going to do a preview for the Panthers game because we all know what we need to do. I don't need to preview that for us. We need to freaking win the game because it's going to be dire straits if we don't. But don't forget to tune into the next episode where we're going to recap this game from the Panthers. And don't forget that we're in the middle of our Road to 1K giveaway, where we're going to be giving away an Oilers throwback jersey. So don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. And share this with your Titans friends on your social media networks and tell them that, hey man, section 240 is where it's at. Because like I always say, there's plenty of room in the section for us all. Tighten up.